It's an interesting question. We are, like you were saying, a Christian group, so we do things, outlined by the Bible and what they say. So I guess the answer you're looking for is no, but depending on what the criteria is, there could be a discussion about it.
Yeah, I mean, being students in general, being here on campus, we're in a subculture already, and I think being a communications major, communications person is definitely another level of subculture to that. I wouldn't say that the club itself is its own subculture, but perhaps it's a specific place that you go to practice the culture, just like you go to a comm class to practice the culture.
It is, in a way, yes, absolutely, especially since we live in a heteronormative culture where it's still looked at, the family is still looked at as a husband and wife and kids, or if you look at movies or most books or most TV shows or commercials, it's usually a man and a woman. So this is actually gives them an outlet, but it's not as well known. You don't see as many lesbians or gays and on TV or publicity wise and stuff like that. Hey, so I mean it would be considered that in a sense. Yes, a little bit separate from the mainstream, so to speak.
So we don't have a specific symbol or anything like that. Obviously, the name Oasis does kind of have a deeper meaning to it.
Yeah, so being the communications club, our logos and symbols are very important to us. So our branding's a big deal. We have a logo, which is a microphone, kind of to symbolize verbal communication, getting your voice heard, spreading your message to more people than you usually would, which is actually interesting because it's an opposite purpose to the communication studies class is that we have here, which are focused on public speaking or group discussion or interpersonal, or like you're taking intercultural. But this is a totally different end of professional, large format, mass communication to everybody. So that's why we picked the microphone. We also use green as our main club color, which also happens to be the college's main color. So we tied those two together on purpose. Green is also just it's an academic color. It's the color of leaves. I mean, green is our base color, but the other one, like you said, we use is black. We use black when we're trying to be extra professional. So like Comm12 is our professional speaking night. We use a black version of the logo with black accents on it as well. On our Constitution, we use the black logo instead of the green one because that's more of a formal document for us.
What we have is the gay pride flag, and then in front of it, our president wrote pride on it, so we're Pride at West Valley. So that's pretty, people kind of know when they look at that club is, yeah, it's a very universal symbol, which is wonderful.
As far as how other people might interpret the club, not to speak for other people, but I know we've gotten good feedback about the way our club is structured, the way we promote and brand ourselves, the level of professionalism we have. But I'm also sure that might be intimidating to other clubs who, like I said, are on the opposite end of the spectrum to us, more social clubs that don't need to do so much professional structuring, whereas we need to do that to be credible on our side of the spectrum.
Yes, there are many misperceptions. For me personally, the relationship I have with Christ is a relationship. I don't view that as a religion. And I know that for me, Oasis has been a safe place for me to discuss my beliefs and be encouraged and challenged by other like-minded believers. And it's a place where I don't have to be afraid of what others around may think. It's just a place for me to go to the Word and to the truth and to just know what God has in store for me and the plan He has for my life, and just to know about the love that He has for me and each and every one of the people here, regardless of our race or denomination. It just has been, like I said earlier, an incredible blessing to examine the truth of God without bias or without just preconceived notions. There's a lot of that, especially in regards to God and the way that He views us. He wants to have a relationship with us. He's given us that gift. He desires that none shall perish, but that all shall come to repentance. I think there are a lot of misconceived perceptions, and that's something that Oasis is really trying to bring up and just be an environment where people can ask these questions in a place where they aren't threatened, just to evaluate for themselves the most important decision they'll ever make in their life.
I think one of the misconceptions is that we're only taking lesbian and gays and bisexuals, and we're basically inclusive of everyone. We even accept allies. So that's why we're trying to do LGBTQ+. So we have actually an ally in the club who actually actively attends the meetings. We also have a student who's asexual, who's an avowed asexual, who attends the club. So we do have somewhat of a diversity in the club, but we do accept everyone, but it's not well known because people look at the gay flag and they think, oh, you're just taking gays and lesbians, but we pretty much include everybody, allies. As long as you're an ally, and as long as it's a safe space and it stays a safe space, we welcome you in.